Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. How you guys doing? Welcome to another day, Tuesday morning. We're going to be getting started here. My name is Tyler. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Really glad that you decided to join us this morning. It's going to be a great day of trading, a great day of education. We're going to be talking about the market. We're going to be talking about futures, ICT concepts, all that good stuff. So stick around. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Let me know, and I'll be sure to try to answer them for you. If you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you can do so in a few different ways. You can use the code DTJ, and you can get anywhere from 5% on the new funded next prop firm that I'm testing out, as all the way up to 71% with Apex. And you can get that using the code DTJ or finding the links down in the description, jumping on those and checking those out. And lastly, if you're watching this after the fact, you can jump to the key markers using the chapter markers below the video. If you want to find all the trades that we take in, as well as an explanation of what I was thinking and why. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's open up in prayer and let's go ahead and get going. It's windy and rainy outside today. I woke up in the middle of the night and had to go outside in the rain and do some stuff. We'll get into that here in a second. All right. Father, we honor you this morning. We commit our day to you. We say, Lord, have your way. Lord, have your way in us, through us. Lord, I pray that I would be a vessel used by you today to display your kingdom, to display your principles. Father, but those that are listening, those that are participating, Father, I pray that you would encounter them, that they would have an encounter with you, that they would come to know you even more. Lord, I pray for a great day of trading. Father, that we would walk in patience. We would walk in contentment. We would not be anxious. We would not be worrisome. We would not be revengeful. But Father, we would receive what you have for us today in the market. We thank you. And everyone on the stream said, amen. Hey guys, how are you doing? Tony? David, good morning. Glad you found us. Kleiber, if I can pronounce that correctly. Wilhelm, Michael, John, Matthew. At some point, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. Ben, Jeff, Vo, Philip, Lawrence, Javier, Lee, Wendy, good morning. How are you guys doing? Paul, good morning. Ted, what's up? John, good morning. Thank you for the verse. Let's pin that bad boy. First one of the morning, and rightfully so, it should be pinned. With every prayer and request, pray at all times in the Spirit and with his view. Be alert with all perseverance. And every request for all the saints. Amen. Why don't we take a moment and take a look at the markets here, and let's see what the market is doing. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of shocked on how we ended yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, it was 4 o'clock. Where was that? Right here? 3:45. 4 o'clock's happening, and we just push higher and higher. I mean, we're talking, these are big candles. We finally rolled over. And then we dropped right around 6 o'clock for the new day. So we have our new day opening gap, which is really small. We're going to, let's take a look at that. Really small. We're just going to put it there anyway. It's that cluster of dots right here. And we've already tagged it here in the last few minutes and selling off again. We'll see if it actually has a real sell-off here this morning. We got 5 minutes till the market opens. Let's go ahead and mark our levels out. We have our opening range gap right here. London high has already been taken. We have a London low sitting right here. Asia high has been taken. Asia low has been taken. And we have pushed through that 4-hour fair value gap. And am inside, let's jump up to the 4-hour now. And inside our last 4-hour fair value gap. Well, let's change that color here. The way we ended was very bullish. I'm not going to lie. We'll mark our previous day high and our previous day low. We have tagged the previous week equilibrium, but we haven't tagged the previous day's equilibrium. So bullish in this context for sure. We've reached down again into this daily fair value gap, and then we closed above these two down closed candles right here, which is a bullish signature in price. How high do we want to go? Well, we have another daily fair value gap sitting right here that we've already filled. And then we have this daily fair value gap as well sitting right here. And also this volume imbalance that's acting as an inversion in volume imbalance overlapping with that daily fair value gap. There we go. There's the daily. We'll mark that there. But that's still a ways up there. We're talking 500, 600 points to get to that point. Very possible. We have some news today. Let's find out what that news is. 3 minutes till market open. Today we have non-farm employment changes that happened at 7:15, and then we have PMI or SMI services at 10 o'clock. So we got news at 10. And we've been, it's really ranging. Hopefully we get a continuation of that style of trading. Yesterday was a beautiful day of price action. Javier, I do not do Elliott theory. No. Jayon, good morning. Vinny. Alex, how you doing? Carlos, good morning. Ricardo. Vinny, thank you for Ephesians 5:11. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. We are opening here in a few seconds, 50 seconds or so. Did I not put on here the opening range? There it is. Okay. Let's see. Opening range is over there. We're looking at roughly 10 handles right now for a premium opening range. Not a fan of how small it is. I really don't like doing anything when I have an opening range right at the open. We'll see how price opens here. Here's open. Oh, nice opening price right there. Filled the opening range gap, pushing towards the previous day high. We'll probably tag that. All right, now let's see how we close. Let's see if we make a fair value gap here and push higher, or if we're just going to flip over and close this entire range. No clean breaker there, Ted. I haven't tested it out yet. I haven't back tested it. See, this is the kind of stuff I just haven't been getting. Like, this is what the candles were looking like at the end of the day, and I'm like, what? is going on? Just if there's any feeling that I get when I see this, makes me nervous. Makes me nervous. Makes me want to sit on the sidelines for a bit. All right, let's mark out 9:30. I honestly don't know what we'd want to run for. We already ran our previous day high. I guess, do we go higher into the 4-hour fair value gap towards the midpoint? I mean, that's the hard part about knowing where are we going here. All right, so I will, if we create a fair value gap here and we respect that fair value gap, I'm going to do the thing that I've been back testing on, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that here. So we got to see how this next candle closes, this one right here. See how it's already pushing all the way through it? Let's see what happens here. There's a little breaker right there for you, Ted. When I look at all that, I just think purge of liquidity. Let's run for not the low of day. Well, it is the low of day, but that's specifically its London lows. There's an inversion. We made equal lows right here. Technically, that would be a play for a move lower. I'm not going to take it. I don't like the 3 big candles reversing right at open, because this candle could just literally do the opposite. It could just do one of those. I do like that we tagged the previous day high. I'm just not going to take it though. There's our small little sweep of equal lows right here. So technically it could now consolidate if it wanted to. Oops. Here's our first presented fair value gap. These series of up close candles right here would be acting as our order block. We probably could see it on the 3-minute time frame here. No? 2-minute? No. ES has not grabbed its previous day high. That's interesting. All right, so take a look at that right there. Previous day high for ES is up here. Let's sit on our hands, folks. I think that's the best thing for us right now. I don't like that we do have an SMT on ES and NQ. We have a higher high here. We have a lower high here. We have a breaker, high, low, higher, high. This would be the breaker area right here. So maybe if we get up to the first presented fair value gap, find resistance, get below 930, find resistance, I might use that as an entry. But I'm probably going to wait till 9:45 before I do anything. Kind of a little bit of excitement this morning right off the bat with just this kind of quick move. Makes you really pay attention, right? When you see fast movement, pay attention. Don't get in a trade, but pay attention. All right, let's go ahead and let's do our daily affirmation for today. Today's is great. It's a great affirmation for today. Yesterday was a great day of trading, but just from my personal experience is that it's never great for everyone. It's never great for everyone. Here's our affirmation for today. I am not defined by my mistakes. God says I am clean. Every setback is pruning, cutting back the flesh so the spirit can grow. I trust the process. I trust the pruning. I will not give up. This is based on John 15, chapter 2. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it would be even more fruitful. This is not just trading. This is in your life. And from everything that I've learned, trading is a reflection of your principles, convictions of your life. So embrace the pruning. The pruning is realizing the mistakes that were made, not embracing shame or guilt, but submitting it to the Lord and saying, Lord, this isn't me. I'm not going to accept this. Prune this from my life. Take this. And then make that an area of focus in your trading, in your meditation, in your trading. See all these candles? Sorry, on my other screen I have the charts still up. See how these wicks lower? It looks like it's going to pump lower, but then it kind of just retraces back. This is what we're going to wait. This is why we're waiting. We're not going to get manipulated into this. But take that affirmation, folks. You can find all of the affirmations that I do on my X account. You can find every single one there. If there's one that speaks to you, download it. Put it on your mirror. Take the text, copy it, put it in your own file. I don't care. The point of these is to empower you, to encourage you, to inspire you, to not give up, not give in, to press on, to press through, to stand in faith and never give up. Ashley, the timestamps on the top, are you talking about right here? The timestamp is an indicator that I added to my chart. Okay, moving up to 930. Inside the breaker, do we tag the first presented fair value gap and roll over? Are we going to push right through it? How are we going to respond to that? Guys, I'm not going to lie. This price action is like manipulatory. If I could create a word. I don't even know if that's a word. I don't like how we closed above the midpoint of that first presented fair value gap. We also closed above the breaker bar. That's the high sitting right around there. So this is bullish. I don't like going long because we've already ran the previous day high. If we want to go long, I want to see it find support at the previous day high and then move higher. To me, this is seek and destroy. This is trying to grab liquidity. It's going to sweep. I wouldn't be surprised if we do this. Bloop. Just sweep that high and then start moving the other direction. It wouldn't shock me at all. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. We could stop right here. But we swept this low, retraced. We swept this low, retraced 3 times, then pushed lower, then retraced. Now moving the other direction. Your ability to recognize, seek and destroy, crappy price action is key. And being able not just to recognize it, but also to say, hey, I'm not going to trade because of this. I'm going to sit on my hands because of this. That is a very, 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 very important skill set to possess. Doesn't matter how many models you have or how well you can read the market. If you can't do that and stay out of this, then you're still going to blow accounts. Ashley, I'm using TradingView but didn't have the time to... you said, I mean on the bottom. Are you talking about that one right there, the 1 minute time frame? It's the same indicator as the one on the top. I just put it on the bottom. Or if you're talking about all of the times that run all across the bottom, I'm pretty sure that everybody should have that. Canvas, grid, bottom, 8%, navigations, text, watermark, scales and lines right here. It's under scales and lines, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's the day of the week and labels, formatting, how you want it to show up. Hours, I have it on a 12-hour format. Actually, I do. It's not free like the live streams are, I'll tell you that. But you can find it in my description. I'll put it here. It's dtjacademy.com. And it also comes with a access to the Discord, which there's no subscription, no monthly. I don't do that right now. It's all just a one-time cost with the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. You can check that out if you like. We just got an influx of people. Hello, welcome. Right now we're waiting for price to see what it wants to do. We are really in more of a seek and destroy conditions, so we have to sit on our hands and wait. Okay, we broke through the first presented fair value gap. We found support in it and now potentially moving higher. But we have this previous day high that really is concerning to me on its effectiveness of moving higher before we move lower. if I had my way on as a narrative, honestly, we have this 30-minute right here. If we drop down to the hourly, this is an hourly fair value gap that's in line with the breaker. That looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie. This looks nice right here. That's an hourly breaker. I wouldn't mind us coming down to that, hitting that breaker, little consolidation, and then a continuation higher. If it breaks through that, then I would be looking for London lows to be tagged. That's crazy. I don't understand. We had, at one point, I mean, I've been sitting at 100 viewers here, and then in a matter of a second, there was 160. There's 130. I don't get it. It is what I guess it is what it is. If you're appreciating the commentary, hit the like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. We are waiting for Jolt's news at 10 o'clock before we do anything. Overall, when you look at the hourly time frame, price is moving. But as you get down to lower time frames, you start seeing more consolidation or less expansion, more overlapping candles. And that's what we're looking for, is less overlapping. We're looking for the expansion candles. But we still can't, I'm not going to do anything right here, guys. We're just not going to do anything right now. I don't know what our upper target is. It could be the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap that we have right there. These two gray lines is a fair value gap. I just marked out there. Actually, why don't we just make it a real fair value gap, huh? See those two? Let's go ahead and mark that. But, I mean, look at the daily. It's really hard. When you have a daily candle from Thursday, we make a huge wick and push higher, but then close red. That's bearish. Next day, we have another push lower, but we have this daily fair value gap that's basically holding up price right now. So from a higher macro perspective, we should see higher prices. This wick, though, is just really not my favorite. We'll watch the midpoint of that. Let's go ahead and do this. Let me make it bigger here. This is not a bad trade. We swept the highs. We have a close target. If we get that in one fell swoop and we close fairly close, it might be of interest. Well, never mind. It already tagged it. Can't do anything with that. watching this down close candle, treating it as an order block, treating this as a propulsion order block. If we respect this candle here, if we don't break through it, this could be a propulsion block higher. We'll see if I'm not sure if it's going to do that or not. I'm looking for order flow. What I'm doing right now is trying to find out what is the order flow, bullish or bearish. Okay? How do we determine that? We determine it by watching premium PD arrays and discount PD arrays to find out which ones are being respected and which ones are being disrespected. So right now, this is a discount PD array. This is a discount order block, a 1 minute order block. Will price respect this order block? Okay? That's what we're looking for. Does the discount PD arrays find support to support higher prices? Or are they being disrespected and the premium PD arrays are being respected? So this is a premium fair value gap. Will this be respected or disrespected? Premium, meaning we want to, it's supporting for lower prices. Does it support it? Or do we go through it and continue to support the idea of higher prices? That's what we're doing. We're reading order flow. We're not looking for an entry. We're just getting a feel for the market by reading it. So we got another SMT on ES for lower prices. But we have that order block supporting price for a move higher. Steve, you can let grandkids in the room. That's right. This is a family-friendly live stream. I had one kid, not one kid. Maybe you're still on here. I don't remember. I had a gentleman on here. He's like, hey, say hi to Vanessa. It was his daughter who was watching the live stream with him. I think we got news at 10 o'clock. We do have some type of news at 10. Maybe I'm wrong. And he's like, do a shout out to my daughter. And so I did a shout out to him. I think kids think that's kind of cool. I mean, it always feels good when you hear somebody talking and then they see your name and they say, hey, Ashley. Hey, Ted, how you doing? And you're like, hey, that's my name. People like the sound of their names for the most part. One minute order block still supporting. Price has closed above this fair value gap. We want to see it act as a reclaimed fair value gap, meaning we want to see it not come back down through it, but find support in it and move higher. If we close below it again, it's a sign of staying out of the market. Philip, this is a homeschool endeavor? Awesome. I never even thought about that. Wow. That got me thinking. That has me thinking. What if I could make like a homeschool curriculum for kids? Oh, that would be so cool. I could do it for my kids and then share it with others. That would be really cool. I think after yesterday, yesterday's price action was amazing. I went like 4 for 4 yesterday. I had a pre-market trade, only took one trade. I took a New York session trade, on stream, only took one trade. I took a lunch macro trade, only took one trade. Took a 3 p.m. reversal trade, only took one trade. Man, it was great trading. It's like, man, I want that to happen all the time. I want that kind of trading. But going back to the homeschool thing, I mentioned this a couple days ago. Somebody reached out to me that was a missionary. They're missionaries. And they want to use trading as one of the ways that they fund their mission work. And I was like blown away to think that this could help advance the kingdom of God. I was just like taken back. And then now thinking about schools helping lift up the next generation, homeschoolers, to make income. I'm just like, that would be so cool. Man. ES isn't doing nothing. I have it right over here. When did I call along, Ricardo? I only remember going short. Maybe I called something but didn't take it. Ted, I'm not going to lie, I had a moment with the Lord. Just thinking of how wide this channel is reaching. It's not super big. I mean, I have 20,000 subscribers. We have 100 some people on the live streams. But how wide this could reach people to help them, I really was humbled by the Lord, if I'm honest. I was like, wow. That's humbling. Very humbling for me. I know several missionaries that I talk to, probably on a annual basis that I stay connected with. That one order block has still found support here. We got 30 seconds before the news. Let's see what happens here. Let's jump out to a 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. We got these relatively equal lows down here, a little smooth. With this candle right here reaching lower and then moving higher, I'm expecting prices just to kind of move higher here. ES is completely different. ES does not look the same at all. I mean, we have down movement while this is green. All right, so here's the news. We need ES to hit the high. I'm not going to go short until ES hits the previous day high. I want that to happen. And I'm not going long until we find support above the previous day high. So I have to sit on my hands right now. There's really nothing we can do. Oh, that's cool, Ricardo. I'm glad you got some. We have the green light to take something here. News has happened. I just don't like the correlation between the assets here. Look at ES right here. And then look at NQ right there. Hang on, folks. I got to answer this. How many of you guys get phone calls, they're spam calls, and how many of you actually hang up on the person? Do you feel it's rude to hang up on people? I need to know. I need to know. I'm not going to lie, I hang up on people all the time. Not because I don't want to. I'm actually a very friendly person. I like talking to people all the time. But I get probably five soliciting phone calls a day. And I'm pretty sure I'm on the do not call list as well. With AI, they can steal your voice? Dang. Didn't think about that. Man, AI is changing everything, man. Jeez. All right, so we got this daily fair value gap. We'll see how we interact with that. I'm still waiting for ES to reach up to this previous day high. More than likely, guys, we may not do anything unless we start seeing aggressive price action to the downside right now. We might be waiting till 11 o'clock to see if anything comes up. But I get, Ricardo, I get the same type of phone call every day because I'm in real estate. They're like, "Can you take more listing appointments? Do you need more buyers? Can you handle 5 more listing appointments a week?" I'm like, "No, I can't." And I've tried them before. I've tried things like that before, and it's just like they just want your money. And I don't blame them. They're not doing anything wrong. They're trained also to make sure you don't hang up. So when I say I'm not interested, they go, "Oh, well, it's only going to take a second. I really want to share with you the benefit of how much this is going to benefit you. And if you take just a minute, it's going to be amazing. So here's what we have to show you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And they just keep talking and they don't let you breathe. Well, all you can do is breathe. They don't let you say a word. I'd like $1 million, $1 million, and then we have a deal. I've become calloused to those types of phone calls. And on top of that, guess what? It said the state of Nebraska. Like, I was waiting for something for the state of Nebraska, so that's why I had to answer. And then it's a sales call. Oh, I do that all the time. Fireman. I do that all the time. I'll answer hello. If it's pauses for a second, what that means is they're on a triple dialer. I've used it before, so I know. So if you get a phone call and there's no response immediately, it's because they were calling 3 numbers at once and another one answered. Or if you get nobody that answers because they were dialing 3 numbers at a time and somebody else picked up. So it's also, if it's a delayed response, they're on a headset, they're waiting for an answer, and then it's silent. They realize somebody answered, and then they go, "Hi, this is Tyler with 123 Real Estate, and we want to help you make $1 million." I have an ID, I have a silence, I have a spam notification. I have all of it. Okay, so we failed to make a higher high on ES. Look how we reached for this and then moved back lower. Okay, we're in a consolidation. I'm not a fan of how that looks. But there could be some opportunity right here. We have an inversion right here. If you're aggressive, this would be your first opportunity for an entry. Never mind, not anymore. We ran the low. That low was taken. That inversion's now gone for an opportunity. The next opportunity is to treat this as an inversion and price to come back up to it, acting as a breaker. That would be our next opportunity right here. And we may not even get that. It's just going to collapse. This feels manipulative. This feels like they're messing with us here. I don't like it. All right, so here's the other problem. This range is so large that if we were to take this as our breaker, what's keeping price from reaching all the way up into here? That's why, even though this is a nice breaker, it has a fair value gap on the left and a potential fair value gap on the right, it makes it much more difficult. We're also now hitting that first presented fair value gap. I wanted the trade right here so I could trade down to the first presented fair value gap. But I can't do nothing with that right now. You have to be extra careful with this, guys. Just because you see the pattern doesn't mean to take the trade. Okay? This is still very bullish. ES has not grabbed its previous day high. Remember that. It has not grabbed it. We've grabbed it over here. Okay? So, I want to be extra careful about this breaker right now. Could it play out? Yes. But I would rather see if I could take the inversion to the upside with the expectation that ES is going to run towards its previous day high. That's the higher time frame key level. And if that key level hasn't been tagged, should I look at going short? Personally, no. Could it go short? Absolutely. It could drop right here. But I'm really concerned on this consolidation, relatively equal highs, and this key level on ES being right there. That's my concern. So it may mean I sit on my hands and not take a trade that looks fairly decent on just the Nasdaq alone. The Nasdaq alone, this looks great, but I'm looking at ES as well, knowing that this is a key level that NQ already grabbed. And there's just so much non-correlation between the assets. This looks pretty. This looks horrible. So, am I going to let the desire for more money to skew my decision making and choosing not to take a trade, or am I going to or choosing to take a trade despite logically knowing that there could be a reason for us to go higher? Or am I going to let the desire to make money overrule that logical expectation and take the pattern of the breaker right here? This is a beautiful breaker. It looks wonderful. Especially it tagging this inversion and rolling over. That would be beautiful. But I'm having a hard time because ES has really not tagged anything. I guess it did the new day opening gap low. But I almost would rather just not take a trade. Exercise patience. Last line of defense for this breaker is this fair value gap right here. So breaker. So we're looking for 3 premium PD arrays to fail. Breaker failed. Inversion failed. This last fair value gap is our last stance for the third. If we close above this, any short should be closed. Closed specifically. It could wick above it, that's fine. But a closed candle above this fair value gap is what we're watching. Again, we're considering premium and discount PD arrays to figure out order flow. ES closed its inversion. So either, and it looks like it's finding support in this fair value gap right here. We'll see if this fair value gap on ES supports price. And if it wants to run for these levels here. Philip, I haven't had a mentor. ICT, if you want to call him a mentor. I've tried different Discords, but I never viewed any of them as a mentor to any degree. There was a long time ago, I was in high school. I remember looking up to, I was a freshman, I looked up to this senior as a stud athlete. I looked up to him. And then I realized that he took steroids. He drank, which was a big deal for me. because I was all about, I want to get my body to a high performing level. And if I'm going to do that, I got to let go of all these things. So when I found out that this person that I admired and looked up to, I remember saying that I'll never look up to anybody else again. That I want to set an example. Have I been perfect? No. But from that point, I've never viewed anybody with any level of notoriety the same. I'm not trading ES, Ethan. I have ES on my left, and I have NQ on the right, and I trade the Nasdaq primarily. I watch these two assets, and then the third one that I'll take a look at when people ask me to is gold. I might keep track of silver. I think silver might start exploding higher. It's only $30. If you ever want to buy gold or silver, that's might be not a bad investment. So we closed above this fair value gap. I would say we have 3 strikes and we're out. As far as this breaker goes, this idea should be done with. If you guys are appreciating the commentary, the lack of language, hit the like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Yes, Ted, we are waiting for the next macro. So we got about 25 minutes before the next macro. With that said, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. Did I miss anything? Nothing. All right, hey, look what happened. All right, ES tagged its previous day high. That's what I wanted. That's the narrative that I wanted to see happen. That's what kept me out of this breaker right here. Now we wait and see if we get displacement to the downside. That supports price moving lower. All right, so we have 15-minute chart, just green candles moving higher. All the bodies have closed above the previous candle. We'll see if this one does in the next 7 minutes here. Came right up pretty close to the midpoint of that 4-hour fair value gap. It doesn't need to tag the daily fair value gap. I think that would be pretty nice if it did. But we also, as Ted mentioned, we are in this is a BPR. This is a very strong signature in price that will keep price moving lower, hopefully. So even though higher time frame I'm bullish, I do think we need to get some type of retracement here. Like I mentioned, I would love to see it run down to this breaker that's down here. Sitting here waiting, folks. Sitting here waiting. Not much to do when you got price action like this, guys. You have to learn to sit. That's the hardest part. Learning to sit and not take a trade. We have not clicked the buy or sell button yet. So I have this inversion fair value gap marked, even though we've broken through it, because this is the price leg that moved higher. This is inferior to this level here. So based on this move higher, I want to keep track of this inversion. I also will keep track of this breaker as well. See how we have been still finding support in this inversion fair value gap? This inversion now is acting like a fair value gap, so we should honestly change it. It was violated, but then came back above it, and now it's finding support in it. it's not a trade idea. It's just reading order flow. We'll see if it wants to go higher. We have time. We probably will get a purge higher around 10:30. Sorry, Ted. I don't know what you're responding to. I missed it. I missed it. Watching ES, wanting to see it make a higher high here as it is right now. The reason why I wouldn't mind seeing a higher high is look at the wicks here. We barely ran this high. I kind of want to see a bigger push through it and then a rejection. And it's around 10:30, which you typically get some animated candles around that time. So now that we've ran and closed above that, we'll see how it interacts with the previous day high. Oh, I see what you're saying, Ted. I haven't taken not having taken a trade yet. Thankfully, no losses, no wins, just patience. Think of patience as a currency, folks. Treat patience as a currency. A valuable currency. Yeah, that's right, Ted. B plus. It's tough. I've started. I think that's why I watch ES now more, because when I've looked at trades that didn't go my direction, ES had some key level that was sitting right there, and I ignored it, or I didn't put much thought into it, and that's kind of what's kept me just an added confluence that I take seriously. And that's actually only been in the last few months that I've done that. So now look at the other. It's the other way. NQ has been exploding higher while ES was consolidating. Now ES is exploding higher while NQ is consolidating. And if we take no trade today, folks, if we can if we can be patient, if there's no presented trade and we can sit and not take a trade, that is a huge win. That is a huge win. Because these markets are rigged against us, and it's designed to take our money. So we want to not take trades that are foolish trades. And if we can say we didn't take any foolish trades, and I'm not saying that every trade that you take is going to be foolish unless I'm taking a trade. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is if your model doesn't present itself and you can sit and not take a trade because it's not present and you're choosing to be patient and you can sit in the waiting, that's a huge win. That's a huge win. Because that means you're preserving your capital. It's preserving the wins. So we are on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on a 6-day winning streak right now. I've been green for 6 days in a row, or 6 trading days in a row. That doesn't happen because I'm taking a bunch of impulsive moves. No. Some of those wins were only $50 to $100 days. Some of them were barely above break even. But hey, that's way better than a loss. All right, are we going to move below this fair value gap that we have marked out finally? You know what? While we're waiting, you guys want to do some back testing? Which one am I? This one here. While we're waiting, let's back test. Way to go. Nice job, Ricardo. All right, so we're going to test. We're going to continue testing this. I'm sitting here waiting for price to do its thing, but until then, I'm going to show you how I've been back testing. Do it. You got it, Ted. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right, so we took... All right, in essence, what I've been testing is this. Here is 930. This is... it's going to be probably a fairly small, so sorry if you are trying to see this. I'm keeping an eye on price over here as well. So 930 has an explosive move. We have another explosive move, and then we retrace into the fair value gap right away. So the idea is to take a long off that fair value gap of that first explosive move and then do a 1R target. And my target was reached up here. This was a huge trade right here. All right, so let's go to the next day. Are we finally moving now? Now that I'm about to do some back testing, we're finally moving. It's 10:35 though, folks. I'm expecting some... all right, so no setup here. There's nothing that presented itself right off the open. So see how fast I just went from one day to the next? This is me back testing. All right, here's another example of something that has no setup. Maybe here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we look like. Ooh, that's really high. I don't like it. The risk would be pretty high. I don't like it. This candle right here is what I don't like. Let's see what happens. Oh, it goes higher. This is why you just can't do that. So we'll use this as an example. It met all the rules, but I did a subjective decision on not taking it. So this trade would be, you would go long in this fair value gap, 932, because it presented itself right out with an explosive open. This candle right here is something I haven't seen as often, so that's why I didn't. Thought about not doing it. So we got the fair value gap. We go long inside this fair value gap. So there's our entry. We put our stop loss at the C1, at the low of C1. This is candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. Candle 2 is what makes our fair value gap. So that's a 25 handle, almost 30 handle stop loss. So now we have to target approximately the same. It's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And so then you let the trade play out from here. So there's another example that I chose not to get in from the beginning, but it followed the rules. Wow, it's been blowing my mind, to be honest, guys. I'm really excited as I continue to backtest this. All right, here's another example of one. 930, explosive move. There's our sweep into this candle here, but we wait for the close, so our entry would be way up here, unfortunately. Oops. Not there. Entry would be here. Stop loss is still way down here. It's a huge stop loss. That's the only thing I don't like. 690. Ooh, I like that. So then you look left. We got a lot of consolidation here. We might want to reach for that. Let's see if this one plays out. Did we sweep any highs? No. When we get a lot of consolidation, I don't like it as much.
Where's the plain Greek yogurt? It's not in the fridge in the garage.
We didn't get it. I thought I told you.
You said you got it and it was in the fridge in the garage.
I'm sorry. All right, this one looks like it's going to get stopped out. All right, so that one was stopped out. That one failed. Guys, we're still sitting here waiting. There's literally nothing happening. We can't do anything in this. I'm literally trying to occupy my time because I don't want to do anything stupid. We have the beginnings of a reversal. I see the beginnings of a reversal taking place. But look at this. Look at that inversion. Look how many it's violated it back and forth. It's just not time yet. That's not the setup we're looking for. So go to the next day. No entry on that one. No entry on that one. That doesn't look bad. $9.30. Yeah, that's one. We'll take this one. We'll see what happens here. Entry would be here, looking for a long. Stop loss would be at C1's low. That's only 10, 15 handle stop loss. I might actually move this target higher. See what happens. So if I did a 1-to-1 risk to reward, that would have been tagged right now. But we're going to see if we can get towards these relatively smooth highs right here, because I think that's where it wants to go. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then what I should have done is stick with the plan, which is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. All right, so see how it stopped me out? This is what happens when you try to get too aggressive. I was too aggressive with the desire to run this right off the open. And I've noticed when I make that mistake, I get stopped out. So what we'll do is go back, because I made a call. Cancel. Confirm. And it should have been a risk to 1-to-1, which would have been right there. One risk to reward is 1-to-1. So we do that. If we do that, it tags it right away. Yeah, Muffin, we're looking for fair value gaps right off the open. So this is 930, the 930 candle. And if it's a very large candle that creates a fair value gap, if the first candle that comes into it finds support in it, we go long, as long as we are not running a swing high or low in that process. So see how this high did not run this high? So that gives me the green light to take that trade. If we swept this high, I would not be as interested in it. It doesn't disqualify it, but it's some of those things that are subjective, that I'm subjective. So what I've been doing is all right here is all the notes that I've seen while I'm back testing this. So what I'm going to be doing is, once I get a certain number of trades in here and I see patterns, I take all of these notes and I start putting together my finalized rules. Then from those finalized rules, then I'll do another back testing session of a very specific entry criteria and just take those trades to see if I'm still getting the same high win rate that I'm getting right now. Because as you can see, I'm going back and I'm identifying the mistakes that I've made. I'm turning them into wins based on following a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Or I'll take a loss if everything looks like it should really be a loss because it presented the trade, and then I'll count that as a loss. But then I'm going to go back and refine my entry rules, which I have all right here, and I'm adding to that, and then I'm going to do another back testing session based on a very specific set of guidelines to see if I get the same type of win rate. And if I do, that's when I start sharing it with everybody. That's when I start going like, guys, this is amazing. I'm very expectant of this so far, but this is what back testing looks like. Right? It doesn't need to be perfect. You're not trying to fudge the numbers. I'm just trying to find out what wins and what doesn't. And I'm doing that in the most efficient manner I think is possible. So no entry opportunity here. So we move on. I just give it barely a second. So this is 930 right here. Look at that. 931, 932 wicks up into that fair value gap. This is an entry that I want to now see if it plays out. The next thing I'm doing is looking left. Ooh, this looks nice. This looks nice. We could be at a breaker right here, so that's the only concern I have is right there as a breaker. But it's given me what I think is my entry rules, so I'm going to take the trade. But before we do that, it looks like we might be breaking out here. It's 9:46. We're going to pause on the back testing. We now have a we have our first down close candle this morning on the 15-minute time frame. On the 30-minute time frame, we still have 15 minutes before the close. If I had a preference, I would like a sweep of liquidity and then us to close back in the range in the next 15 minutes to give me a potential for a 30-minute reversal. I would like to see that. Lakcha, Trip, I don't know exactly what you're referring to. My stop loss was very large when I was doing the back testing there. The rule for my stop loss that I've been setting is putting it on C1 of the fair value gap. If you have no idea what I'm talking about here, let me explain. If we're looking at this fair value gap, that's a fair value gap, right? Beautiful. Oops. That's a fair value gap. Well, this fair value gap is created by 3 candles. Candle number 1, candle number 2, and candle number 3. It's always left to right. This is candle number 1, or C1. This is C2, and this is C3. So when I see price come into a fair value gap, let's say price comes in right here into this fair value gap, I'm putting my stop loss on C1, the low of this candle. That frames out this fair value gap. That's what I'm doing. All right, so NQ is now inside the macro and pushing higher through this low resistance liquidity right here. We're wanting to see if we can reach up to this daily fair value gap, which also is going to be in line with the midpoint of the 4-hour fair value gap. So we want to see if it wants to reach up here, tag this, and we get an aggressive sell-off. Because there's no long opportunity for me here. There is, if we could use this as our long opportunity, this breaker. But I'm not liking the structure here. Honestly, I'm not liking for the structure to the downside either. Honestly, this looks like a very crappy trading day. That's how when we're looking at this is how I backtest. That's how we just backtest is, so we have time. There's nothing literally going on here. So I'm going to take a step back. This is the candle that we hit the fair value gap in, right? I'm not taking the entry when we go into it. I'm taking it on the close to confirm that it didn't inverse it or run through it. So that's where my sell would be. My stop loss then would go to C1, which is extremely high. Actually, it's only 35 handles. It's not bad. Now we do a 35 handle target, which comes out to be just shy of that swing low, and it's at the last presented fair value gap, which I like. So let's make sure we get one standard deviation. There we go. All right, let's see if this plays out. Nope. So here we got stopped out. The only concern I had was that this breaker could stop us, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to leave this as an example so I can go back and look at it, and I can compare it to future trades that I take when I'm reviewing all the trades that I've taken for this specific strategy. A single loss does not mean it's a loser strategy. It just means it happens. You got to have lots of data. How many contracts do you trade with such a far stop loss? So in the back testing, I really don't care. I'm just using one mini contract. But if you are doing proper risk management, you would obviously take a trade size that would make you feel comfortable with a 30 handle stop loss. So for me, it would be probably two micros. I probably want to do more than that. And when I see support that price is actually in my favor and going to move, I would even add to that, because now I can reduce my risk and I'm pretty confident price is going to run in my favor. So there's different ways that you can approach it. All right, so there's the little, there's the slap of the fair value gap, and look at the precision of that. Okay, look how it fills almost all of it, and then the next candle's high is at the top of it. See how I'm just noting that? Now I'm like, okay, how are we going to respond now? Because either way, it looks algorithmic, and I want to pay attention. ES made a higher high as well. We did not come down to the bullish breaker that I outlined right there. I didn't put it on the charts, I should say. But I just wasn't liking really any of this price action. It looks likely more bullish than anything, even when it was down here. I just wasn't willing to take it. Are we in a trending day? Is this a trending day higher? As of right now, I would not say it's a trending day higher. Look at this price action here. That just does not look like a trending style of day. Right here looks fantastic for a trending day, the beginnings of one. So I have that in the back of my mind to say, do I want to switch to a trending market type of entry, which means if we come back down to like an order block, which we have a breaker / order block right here, do we want to take this for a long, thinking that we could reach up to the hourly fair value gap? That would be the idea. I'm not very good, or haven't been very good in the past, on trending days, because they're nerve-wracking to take, to be honest. Let's mark this. Let's take 930. Right at 930. Here's one of those days that I'm back testing. This is why this trade, this day right here, Thursday of last week, is the reason why I started back testing those explosive opening candles. Here's 930, 931, 932. We wick up into the 932 candle right here, 931 candle, and then look at how much we just run lower. So I went back and said, well, how often do we actually do that? And surprisingly, right now our win rate on this, if we go to the dashboard, is a 72% win rate, and we've made $12,000 with one mini contract. It's not it's not bad. That's what has resulted from just saying, how often do we do this? Could I turn that into a strategy? And that's what I'm trying to do right now. 930 is the breakaway gap. Yeah. That's the idea. Is if 930 is a big candle and it leaves a fair value gap and we get potential consecutive fair value gaps, if we come into one of those and leave, can we go long or can we go short from that and get a 1-to-1 risk to reward? That's kind of what I'm thinking there. I feel like this is just going to go higher, folks. And even if you look down here, there was no fair value gap for us to go long. Nothing there. Maybe in the 2-minute. All right, the 2-minute gave us one, but then it was violated immediately. The 3-minute gave us one right here, and then it exploded higher. So there would have been an opportunity in the 3-minute, but when you go down, it's just like none of this looked good, so we didn't take it. Interesting, Ted. Yeah, you could do that. But again, all you got to do is now go back test those two different strategies and see which one has a better win rate. How many trades was that in so far? 29 wins and 11 losses. So 40 trades, 44 total trades, which includes break-even trades. Most of the break-evens were accidental trades that I just got out of, or I just wasn't liking how price was moving, so I moved my stop to break-even, and it ended up stopping me out. See you, Ted. Yeah, we're waiting for the rejection here, which we have to be careful because if we're in a trending day, we're going to try to find something that's not there, and we end up taking a loss as a result of this. I'm in the process of considering a trending day, meaning if we get a decent retracement, instead of looking for a short, I'm going to look for another long. Because honestly, at this point, I don't know what the higher time frame target is. Is it the 4 hour? Was it the daily? Is it this 930 level? Is it this hourly fair value gap? Heck, I don't know. There's so many different things. Is this swing high? Relatively equal highs? Is it this one here? But then we got a lot of low resistance liquidity right here. We got this, and then we got London high that hasn't been tagged here. I mean, there's so many different things. So instead of trying to catch the top, maybe we try to jump on the trend. And it's pretty clear what the trend is. Except we really had no opportunity for an entry on the 1 minute. There hasn't been a single fair value gap entry. We might get one right here, but we haven't had a single one. That makes it difficult to trade. TradingView question, do you know if you can have partial position size off while in a trade, still trading in sim? You can trade. Here's our paper account. If we're going to go long 25 handles, you can hit the black square on the right and change your number, your quantity on the top to 5 or whatever it wants, and then you can set limit orders there. So there's our limit order set to see if it goes. Then you can set your stop loss with 5 contracts, and then just continue to add those to add up to your total amount. So there's our 25 contracts for stops, and we didn't do the take profit. We didn't do this thing right here, right? We didn't do that. You just added it separately. So we're going to sell 15 shares at that high. All right, so it tagged that one. See if it tags it, and there it is. See, look at that. When you do demo account, we can make a lot of money. By the way, since we've been sitting here, I've gotten 2 more phone calls. All said spam. "100%, Philip. But here's not how you overcome it, but this is the mindset you need to have to be able to overcome it. You have to do the job to overcome it by the grace of God, but you have to know 2 things. Number 1, there will always be another trade. You have to tell yourself that. And number 2, you need to know the result of you trying to make up for that missed opportunity. Losses. You have to tell yourself those 2 things. All right, so look at 930. Look what we did when we tagged 930. I really like that. Maybe we can do a small scalp if we get an opportunity here. Or maybe it's going to give us a retracement for a long. That might be nice too. All right, it's 11 o'clock, 11:05. Come on, baby. I'm not taking this first inversion. We really don't have a target. We have equal lows right here. New high. Pump, baby, pump. Yes, I use it all the time. In this case, could I have used this anywhere? If I was to use it, it would be here to find out what one standard deviation is. So there's one standard deviation there. There's 1.5, 2. I'll use it as an area for target. Like let's say I got in long right here and I didn't know where price was going. I could do one standard deviation and be pretty confident that we're going to hit that one standard deviation. There's one standard deviation from the 10 a.m. manipulation lower from that price leg. $21,720. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I think that this is not a reversal. I think this is a retracement. I do like that we were at 930 though. If we can get maybe a 10 to 20 handle scalp, maybe that's worth it. We got 20 minutes for that bad boy. Yeah, this is just too bullish. If you're going to take a short, it needs to be 10, 20 handles type scalps. I like this level right here. If we can get an inversion right here, maybe. I like that idea. But keep in mind, if we get to the point where we're inversing this, I may take a long. Thanks, John. Have a blessed day, man. Yeah, we're coming to an end for the day. Everything in me says I want to take a short, but I think I'm going to take a long. Small little breaker. That seems very hard to be profitable. I mean, it's possible, but your probability of success for a 5-to-1 is way less than a 2-to-1 risk to reward. I would say if you have to have a 5-to-1 to be profitable, I'd say you need to find a better strategy. There are traders out there that have a 20-30% win rate, but when they win big, and they have the guts to hold it for a very long period of time. I can't go short. There's just not enough details here. I'm more interested in the long right now. This could sell off right here. I mean, it looks good for a structure. But I'm basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to go against the conventional wisdom that we're going to reverse and try to look at this as a continuation. Try to trade a continuation instead of playing the reversal. Because in the past, when we see markets like this, you can get small wins on it. We could have took a trade inside this. We could have went short right here and sold right here, sure. Maybe it even gets the swing low, and I could have done that. But the problems I have is I'm looking for the bigger move, and so I always get stopped at break even or take a loss. What's up, Alex? I don't know, David. I think there's a level of gambling to poker, but there is definitely a strategy. I play it, but I don't really bet on it. I think I've done it twice in my life at like a casino. I was at a work event and all the employees were going out, so I went with them just to hang out. That was years and years ago. I'm going to take a long right here, a small long. I think I want to try it 1 micro. All right, all the excitement. Here we go, folks. The reason why I did that is look at how much we've wicked into this fair value gap, and all these wicks we're finding support in the premium portion. So I'll take an entry around here and see if we can move above here. We could just fall, but I'm taking it based off the idea that we are in a trending market higher and we're going to find support inside this fair value gap. But how much conviction do I have? Well, 1 micro conviction. And I might even let this run. If it's gonna go, maybe it goes. 21,690. Can you imagine? See, that's a much better position where we got in here than it would have been if we got in at the close of this candle for this inversion. That means our entry would have been here. Our entry would have been somewhere around there. And our stop loss would have to be way down here. So on a trending market, you want to get it when it retraces, not on the inversion higher, especially when you got a big candle like this. So now we're in a good spot. We can pretty much just let this ride and play out and see if we are truly in a trending market and see if it wants to go higher. If it comes back down and stops me out, well, I guess it can do that. But I want to take this trade idea based on a continuation to the upside. This is the midpoint of that wick, the daily wick, 688 to 690 is probably where I'd want to take profit. Wow, we're just pumping. I'm going to move this up right now. And I'm going to move my stop to break even. Now, these aggressive pumps typically can result in a reversal, okay? So I'm keeping that in mind here. want just a little bit more. I really wanted to respect this down close candle at 11.19. I wanted to act as a propulsion block coming down into that, and then the next candle we explode higher. So I expect this candle to close red. I want to see the next candle explode higher. Gen C, this is copied, yes. Orange fan, I totally can see that. I don't disagree with that statement. Okay, I really want to see this pump higher right here so we can see this act as a propulsion block. There we go. I'm going to move my stop up to the low. See how we close here. We'll secure that profit there. See if we want to pump right now. I want this candle to close above those 2 wicks. We need to close above those 2 wicks. If we can't do it, I'll I'm going to get stopped out here. All right, stopped out just under 20 points. We'll take that as our win. And, well, no, actually, that wasn't even close to 20 points. Came out to be roughly 13, 14 points. Tagged inside this fair value gap, so we could see still another pump, but I'm okay. I think I'm going to call it a day there, folks. It's not very pretty, not very green, but we're not red. We're definitely not red. So all right. That's it, folks. That's it. We're going to call it a day. Use the code DTJ if you guys are looking to take your trading to the next level. If you're, one person was wanting more info on the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, you can find that information down in the link or down in the description. It's dtjacademy.com. If you want to join our community, no annual, no monthly cost, just a one-time fee where we can then build a community together. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. God bless. Stay safe. Don't do anything emotional. Follow your rules, and you guys are going to do just fine. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.